Imagine dumping $10 trillion investment into building structures in the middle of a desert. Does it become a city? A hub of innovation? A place people actually want to live? History says probably not. In the last 50 years, we've poured trillions into global development, but the results are weirdly uneven. Some countries take off like rockets, others stay stuck, no matter how many zeros are on the check. The abandoned luxury city isn't just a failure of money, it's a failure of human potential. What if I told you that poverty isn't about a lack of money, but a lack of information, and that the smartest nations in 2050 won't be the ones with the most gold, but the ones with the highest learning velocity? Today we're breaking down the blueprint for the AI-ready nation. This is not a lecture, it's a survival guide for the 21st century. Welcome to Conscious Pirate. The idea we will talk about is a distilled version of the book The Intelligent Nation. I will leave a link in the description should you want to dig deeper. We are moving from a world of gatekeepers to a world of builders. The old guard fears this. You should be excited by it. By the end of the video, you will have a mental framework that 99% of people and politicians don't have. Now that we have that out of the way, let's dive right in. Here's the kicker. Capital is necessary, but it's nowhere near enough. Think of a country like a high-end gaming PC. You can have the most expensive power supply, that's the capital. But if the motherboard is fried and the software is from 1995, you're just looking at a very expensive paperweight. Or alternatively, imagine rocket being pulled by a horse-drawn cart. Old institutions in a new age. Technology cannot take off when the system won't let go. This is the development paradox. We've treated development like a financing problem, but it's actually a coordination and productivity problem. AI is the general-purpose technology, like electricity or the internet, that finally fixes the motherboard of the state. So, how do you actually build an AI nation? You don't just buy a bunch of chatbots. Most governments treat AI like a gadget they can buy at a store. They invite a consultant, sign a contract, and call it digital transformation. That is AI theater. It's a stage play where the set looks expensive, but the props are made of cardboard. To build an AI-ready nation, you don't need tools. You need the 4C's infrastructure. Connectivity, the nervous system. Think of a body without nerves. You can have the strongest muscles, the best factories and minds. But if the brain can't signal them to move, you are paralyzed. Connectivity isn't just about broadband for your phone. It's about universal access as a public utility. If a farmer in the rural north can't ping the market in the capital to see the price of grain, the country is disconnected. You are literally wasting your own GDP. Compute, the metabolic rate. If connectivity is the nerves, compute is the metabolism. A modern nation processes exabytes of data. If you are relying on servers in another country to host your national data, you aren't a sovereign state. You're a tenant. You need local, sovereign compute. This is the engine room. Without it, you're just a spectator in the global AI race. Imagine a patient who is on life support all their life. Every day that passes is a lost opportunity to enjoy the sunshine or experience life independently. Context, the cultural lens. This is the big one. This is where 90% of development projects fail. They import a smart city model from a European capital and drop it into a tropical agricultural hub. The AI doesn't understand the soil, the local land laws, or the vernacular. It's useless or worse, that's AI colonialism. A truly intelligent nation trains its models on its history, its challenges, and its people. If the AI doesn't speak your truth, it's not helping. It's gaslighting. Competency, the human pivot. Finally, the people. A nation of 10,000 coders is useless if the policymakers don't understand how to govern with data. We are moving from the era of the politician as orator to the politician as architect. If your leaders view AI as an IT department issue rather than a national strategy issue, you've already lost the next decade. Think of AI like a high-speed rail network. It reorganizes economic geography. It lets a small farmer in a remote village access the same market intelligence as a CEO in the capital. This is institutional leapfrogging. Late adopters can move faster because they don't have to rip out old, clunky copper wires. They can go straight to the cloud. If you're still with me, you're already thinking differently than the average policymaker. But here is where it gets more exciting. If you're a leader watching this, forget GDP for a second. Here is the inside baseball secret that the World Bank won't tell you. Most consultants charge governments millions to tell them this. We're doing it in 20 minutes. Forget GDP. Forget foreign direct investment figures. Those are lagging indicators. They tell you what happened in the past. If you want to know which nation will own future, you look at LVOST, the learning velocity of the state. It's the speed at which a government can detect a problem, process the info, and fix the policy. The only metric that matters in 2050 is LVOST. In an analog government, a policy is proposed, debated for 3 years, implemented over 5, and evaluated in 10. By the time you realize the policy failed, the world has changed twice over. That's a high-latency state. They are obsolete. An LVOST-focused government treats policy like software. You deploy a small beta law in a specific region, collect the real-time data, adjust the parameters, and iterate. It's not just governance. It's agile development at a national scale. A government that learns faster than its competitors doesn't just survive. It accelerates. If your country takes 3 years to change a law that isn't working, you're already obsolete. The richest nations will be the ones that learn the fastest. Why do nations actually fail? Let's use the leaky water system analogy from the book. In the old way, a city only fixes a pipe when it bursts. That's reactive, it's expensive, it's a mess. What happens to the single mother in that city when the water is poisoned or depleted completely because the system couldn't see the leak? But an AI-ready city uses a smart sensor network to find and patch tiny, invisible leaks before the explosion. But this isn't just about water. It's about tax evasion, corruption, and failing schools. If a government can't see in real time, it's governing in the dark. We usually think of poverty as a lack of income. But look deeper. Poverty persists because information doesn't flow. Large parts of the developing world are data dark zones. Transactions are in cash, enterprises are unregistered, and labor is uncontracted. To the state, these people are invisible. This invisibility means they can't get credit, their productivity isn't measured, and social programs leak like, well, that leaky pipe we talked about. AI makes the economy legible to itself. Is corruption a moral failure? Most people say yes, but it's actually a rational response to a bad system. When rules are opaque and every process needs a human gatekeeper with a stamp, a bribe is just a way to skip a line. You can't shame your way out of a structurally corrupt system. You have to design your way out. AI turns governance from catching people into preventing the 8 leak by making every decision traceable and auditable by default. Think of AI like a high-speed rail network. It reorganizes economic geography. It lets a small farmer in a remote village access the same market intelligence as a CEO in the capital. This is institutional leapfrogging. Late adopters can move faster because they don't have to rip out old, clunky copper wires. They can go straight to the cloud. We've talked a lot about efficiency, but what about dignity? A dignified system is one that works even when no one is watching. It's a system where you don't have to know a guy to get your business license. It's a system where important metrics are collected automatically in real time and presented for all to see. AI should make the state faster, but also fairer. Efficiency without dignity is just a faster way to make people angry and frustrated. It makes them disengage from the operations of the economy. Soon, they will become invisible, unrecorded, and unaccounted for. This situation is a polar opposite of the intelligent nation. How do we build it? Allow me to introduce you to the foundational triad. Digital identity, the invisible key to everything. Every citizen becomes visible. Every asset becomes accountable. No more economic dark zones. Payments, making money move at the speed of light. Every transaction is recorded. The price of credit becomes easy to calculate. Taxes become predictable. Gatekeepers become a thing of the past. Registries, one single source of truth for land, health, legal, and education. Connect these with a national data spine, and you've just built the national AI super platform. For decades, the world has relied on aid, but capital without intelligence decays. Aid can actually be a trap. It substitutes for domestic learning. But trade? Trade builds capacity because the market is a brutal but effective teacher. AI lowers the barriers to entry, allowing small firms in the global south to compete on productivity, not just cheap labor. This opportunity is being felt by content creators all over the world, with landscape changing rapidly every day. Looking back from 2050, the countries that won weren't the ones that adopted the most AI tools. They were the ones that redesigned their institutions to be learning systems. They treated intelligence as a public good, like clean water or air. They escaped the short political cycle and invested in foundations. Imagine a woman in a remote village who in 5 seconds can prove her identity, secure a microloan, and pay her utility bill, all because her nation chose to build a digital spine instead of a wall of red tape. This is the vision of the future for countries that win in the AI era. So, are you a spectator or a builder? If you're in a position of leadership, stop chasing pilots and start building foundations. If you're an entrepreneur, solve a real national problem. The AI era won't reward the loudest, it'll reward the fastest learners. We're building the blueprint for the intelligent nation here on Conscious Pirate. If you want to be part of the generation that designs the future instead of just living in the past, hit that subscribe button. If you found this diagnostic framework useful, why not watch our deep dive video reports on 4C's development checklist for intelligence-led national development. It's the playbook for the next generation of leadership, governance, and development. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel if you want to stay ahead of the curve. This is Conscious Pirate. Think deeply, build boldly. Your life is your adventure. Never surrender your future. Ahoy!